Feel free to find a comfortable seat or lie down for the intro, totally up to you. I'm going to be sharing a quote with you today, so however you want to sit or lay down in the beginning, feel free to go there before we dive into our Shamatha technique. So to start, again, let's just take a couple moments. Let's close our eyes wherever you're at, whether you're seated or lying down. And let's allow ourselves to arrive in the present moment before diving into anything else. Take a couple big breaths and allow yourself to simply feel your inhales and exhales. Gently let go of everything that has happened today. And also release anything that is left to do for the rest of the week. Allow yourself to simply arrive and to be present for this time for yourself. So you made it, you arrived. For the next 10 minutes or so, there's nothing else you have to do. And as we're here, I would like to share a quote with you, so feel free to listen with your eyes closed or open, totally up to you. The quote goes like this: "We do not see that our life right here, right now, is nirvana. Maybe we think that nirvana is a place where there are no problems, no more delusions. Maybe we think nirvana is something very beautiful, something unattainable. We always think nirvana is something very different from our own life." This is a quote from Taizen Roshi. So take a couple moments to reflect on that. Where in your life right now do you feel like it isn't nirvana or it's not perfect? Maybe you have a whole list of things. Maybe just a couple pop up. Do you in your life see anything as perfection? Are there any areas in your life where you're like, yep, that's nirvana, it's perfect? I'd like to challenge you, just for this moment or maybe even as a theme for your week, to try to find the state of nirvana, if you will, in many, if not all, aspects of life. So our lives, the way we see and view our lives, are dependent on us. Our minds take in our environment around us, and the way that we see the world is dependent on how we decide to view it. Your life right now, as this quote suggests, is perfect. Everything is exactly as it should be. How can you find the perfection in your life? How can you decide that everything that is a big problem or something hindering you is actually your greatest blessing? Sometimes when I look back on my life, the things that I kind of pushed against or thought was holding me back were the things that ended up being the greatest blessings, but we can only see those things once we're past them rather than when we're in the moment. So I'd like to challenge you to approach those areas of life that we might be looking at as not perfect and find the perfection in it. Because as the quote suggests, nirvana is here and now, and it's not someplace outside of us. On that note, let's dive into our Shamatha technique. So find a seat either on a cushion on the ground, cross-legged, or on a couch or a chair with the knees above the ankles. Hands gently rest on the thighs, on the knees. If your eyes are closed, gently begin to peel them open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you, about 3 to 6 feet. I will start our timer for us. Begin to drop your awareness all the way down to your legs. Allow the legs to rest heavily against the ground beneath you. Allow your weight to sink down through the hips and the sits bones. Begin to lift up through the back body, stacking every vertebra one on top of another, growing the spine nice and tall. Back body is strong as you allow the shoulders to rest and relax down it. Elbows hang effortlessly by your sides as you relax the arms and allow the wrists and hands to just gently rest on the legs. Soften your chest, your belly, the torso. And continue to lift through the neck so the chin is parallel with the ground beneath you. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Relax the forehead. Soften the eyes. Just simply allow the visual field to enter through the eyes. Almost imagining as though there's an infinite horizontal line in front of you that you're trying to see as much of as you can. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. Soften the lips and the mouth, floating the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Begin to tune your awareness into the feeling of your breath in the body. Begin to feel the inhales and exhales flow in and out. And notice where you feel your own breath. So you may feel any variation of the nostrils, the throat, the chest, or belly, possibly even the sides or back body. You might feel different areas that I didn't even mention. Where do you feel the breath throughout the inhales and exhales? And it's okay if it's more than one area. Take a couple moments to dive into the breath. Now, as we're here, simply being with the breath, simply feeling the inhales and exhales with the body, the mind will wander from the task at hand, and that is a-okay. Two things may happen with the mind, one of which is you might have thoughts come up in the background, but you'll still stay focused on breathing and feeling the breath. In that situation, just let it be. If, however, your mind gets totally distracted from the task of feeling the breath, so much so that you're taken off on a train of thoughts. You're distracted by any internal or external thing other than feeling the breath. In that situation, you will label it thinking and simply come back to the breath. Feeling every inhale and exhale and gently awaiting for the next time you'll have to come on back to the breath. Our practice is not to stay with the breath, it's to be with ourselves as we are and to notice the mind. When the mind wanders totally away from feeling the breath, we simply usher it back in to the task at hand. Be compassionate with yourself. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. We are simply practicing together, here and now. Take the next couple of moments to practice this technique, to be with yourself, and to enjoy the ride. Gently begin to draw your practice to a close. Maybe you add some small wiggles to the shoulders, the body, or just close the eyes and deepen the breath. We will eventually meet up with the palms touching at heart center and eyes drawn closed. Take a couple of moments to simply observe how you feel right now. Draw your awareness to your mind, your head space. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind right now? Draw your awareness to your body. How does it feel? What word describes the state of your body? And gently tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right now? Take a moment to reflect upon how you feel in comparison to the beginning of our time together. And maybe it's changed, maybe it hasn't. But just know that exactly what you feel right now is perfect. Give yourself a gentle smile and really thank yourself for showing up here tonight, for dedicating your time to cultivating a beautiful awareness within and around you. And thank you so very much for sharing your time and energy and practice with me here tonight. The light in me truly honors the light in you. Namaste.